Welcome to Bandit's Keep Actual Play. I'm Daniel. We are continuing my solo original Dungeons & Dragons campaign using Chainmail for the combat, outdoor survival for the hex crawling, and we're kind of zooming in here on the Wolves of Meephole. They have defeated the cockatrice, a bunch of them anyways, and there's something lurking in the next room. Okay, so the cockatrice treasure is going to have the good stuff. Basically the stuff that they came for. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 items that it could be. 3. All right, so in this room is a scroll. Of course, I don't know what it is yet because they did not take Read Magic as their spell for the day. They may do it if they end up leaving the dungeon and coming back. They may do that so they know what it is before they leave, especially if they leave with only this. But hopefully that won't be the case. So they do that. I'm going to say they close this door and put a spike on it as well during that time period. I feel like that makes sense. And in addition to that, because it's not like this room is big, I'm gonna say they would have listened. You might say that's a little meta because the thing, but they're going to listen at that door because, again, they came to a new room. They would definitely do that. So we're making noise, though, so we're not going to surprise whatever's there, but maybe we can eliminate our chance of surprise. No, they don't hear anything. Okay, so let's see what's in that room that's about to come through this door. 4. Oh, it's some kind of animal. And again, because it's a wandering monster, not one from the room, there's only going to be one. Get on my animal chart. Too many books open now. All right, animals. D12. 12. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Okay, so there's only going to be one. Is it a giant snake? Unclear. We'll roll again. By the way, 4 turns have gone by, so they should only have 2 of this left. No, it's not. Okay, so it's regular snakes. They're only going to be 1 hit die, and there's only going to be 1 because it's a wandering monster. So there might also be something in that room naturally, though. So let me just roll that while I'm here because they're going to open this door and be confronted by this single snake. Okay, so is there anything in that room? Let's roll. There is. Okay, there's a monster in the room, actually. So what's in the room besides the snake? Oh my God, black pudding. Oh boy. Okay. Oh wow, there's a black pudding in this room. Okay, well, obviously that's why they didn't hear anything. There's 1 snake and a black pudding. Well, they were doing good for a second. They're confronting all kinds of bad things. Now, of course, the ochre jelly. Let's see if the ochre jelly is pursuing them. If so, 2 turns have gone by, so it'll have moved. So yes or no, will the ochre jelly pursue? I don't think it's intelligent, so if it's far enough away, it's not going to chase them. No, it doesn't. All right, so it'll start moving this way. It moved 2 turns that way. All right, and in this room, we have a black pudding. And the party's about to bust the door open and be confronted by it, and they can be surprised. So first of all, can they open the door? Yes. Secondly, are they... I don't feel like a black pudding can... Well, I suppose it could be. So is the pudding surprised or the party surprised? Nobody is surprised. Okay, that means the distance is 1, 2, it's still only 30 feet away. Okay. So it's here. 1, 2, 3. It's 30 feet away on the other side of this pillar. There's a black pudding there. Oh, also the snake. There's a snake. Let's just roll a different distance for the snake. I mean, the snake is really nothing at this point. 1, 3. Okay, the snake's a little further away. So for some reason, the snake's behind the black pudding. Maybe it feels comfortable being back there. All right, so they see this black pudding. Again, I'm going to roll initiative because I feel like the party, they're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. And I don't know if they know the difference between a black pudding and ochre jelly or anything like that. So I feel like what they're going to do is let loose with their bows if they win initiative. But, you know, let's just roll. I'm tempted to have them slam the door shut, but I feel like at the same time, there's likely treasure in this room, they're going to think. And also, like, you can't run from every pudding or slime you see, even though the other one did take out their party member. So let's roll initiative first. Okay, they win initiative. They are going to let loose against the black pudding with their bows. And the thing is that black puddings do not get hurt by regular weapons. They actually get broken up by slashing weapons. I'm going to say arrows just go in and go and slime into the thing. So basically what ends up happening there is, and they're doing it as it's moving towards them, obviously, because it can move 30. Actually, can it move 30? It can actually move 60. So Basically, they're going to fire at it as it moves towards them. Again, the fighters are going to be in the front. The magic users are going to stay in the back, obviously in the back of the room. The pudding moves up on them, and it's going to attack the 3 fighters in the front. So the way this works is a black pudding is pretty powerful. We're about to have some issues here. It attacks as 4 heavy horse. So basically, just like before, it's 4 heavy horse, and we're putting it against 3 armored foot. So we're going to go heavy horse versus armored foot gets 2 dice per man, 5 and 6 hits. So it's basically going to get 8 dice. Any 5s or 6 are going to take out a fighter. Yeah, this is a much tougher creature than the ochre jelly. They probably should have fought the ochre jelly. All right, so they get 8 dice. 5s or 6s kill. Ooh, that's 1, 2, 3. That's it. So basically, well, actually, I'll see if they're up. So each fighter gets a save. No. 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 All right. The black pudding moves up and eliminates all 3 fighters. And again, I don't think these puddings are exactly smart, right? They're just trying to eat. So I'm going to say it just starts absorbing them. It's not going to keep chasing the magic users. Wow. I am literally 4 magic users deep right now. Oh, man. Okay. They're going to run. They're not going to try to fight this thing, obviously. They despike the door. They come out. Now, magic users can move much, much faster because they're not carrying hardly. They got nothing. The only treasure they got so far is a scroll. This has been a terrible trip for them. Man. All right. Whoosh. They took 5 cockatrices out, though, which is pretty good. All right, so they are going to run like heck. And again, I don't think the cockatrice is going to chase them. This guy would have moved. Again, I don't think an ochre jelly is so big that it'll take up the whole hallway. They're just going to try to run past it. I think they should be able to do that. But they're not going to leave the dungeon, I don't think, because again, they have like almost no treasure. And they have a sleep spell. They have some other stuff. I think they want to do a little bit more exploration. They had found good treasure, if you remember, over here. So they might actually go that way. You know, let's risk it. Well, let's go for a TPK. Why not? All right. They're going to run past. Again, I think they can probably get past it. I'm not going to worry too much about that. They're going to run past this ogre jelly. And that's about as far as they can get in one turn. Again, though, now we're going to go for a wandering monster, which we don't encounter one. Yeah, they're going to stay close to the entrance, and they're going to see if they can find something else down here, because honestly, they know they can't beat a cockatrice if they encounter one. And they can't beat the ochre jelly as far as they know. Honestly, they just need to leave. Wow, this was a terrible trip for them. Yeah, I don't think they have a choice. Wow, that was terrible. Black pudding, man. All right. They're going to try to open the door because it's closed by now. They open it and they're out. Wow, wolves. That was pretty bad. You had a really good idea. You took out 5 cockatrices, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. But at the same time, and picked up 1 scroll, which of course I know is Detect Invisible, which is the worst scroll of all the ones they're trying to pick up. I think they're outmatched here with these things. I think they're going to have to, once again, go back to town, do a little research. They've seen these things. I'll give them the research that they'll know how to fight these things. Because with enough characters and with a plan, they could beat these things. Again, both of them are susceptible to fire. So throwing flaming oil at them would be an excellent way to take them out from a distance, the same way that we were able to take out the cockatrice, because they're super slow, remember. But at the same time, they can't do that right now because they don't know. I already rolled to see if they knew. And, or I already decided that they don't know. So I think we're out of here. The 4 wolves are limping back home, hopefully to fight another day. Okay, so the wolves did not have a great run. It seemed like they were doing really well at first, but that ochre jelly / black pudding really took them by surprise, literally with the ochre jelly. And now they are down to but 4 members. They are magic users and just not prepared to fight something like this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these guys. They only recovered one of the scrolls from this. I think this is the second time they've hit this dungeon. I have to look at it again. And basically, they've got to pay back the dungeon, to the patron. But at the same time, they're just not ready to do it. I don't think this is going to give them enough experience points to even come close to second level. So I think what we're going to do, possibly with this group, assuming they get home alive, is I may do what I did with the Fangs when they first came home with the terrible result. I may put them on a mini quest that they get some, I've checked their funds, put together some money and have them go on a little quest by themselves, because I think if they actually challenge something that's more of a first level challenge, they can throw some sleep spells and stuff and actually have a chance of surviving. This dungeon is very tough. I've mentioned this before, I think, but these maps are designed for high level characters. So while this campaign is quite lethal, it's because I'm sending a bunch of first level characters against what should be done by higher level characters. So, and some of them have been successful. So anyways, let's try to get home. We're using outdoor survival. The first thing we're going to do is roll for the first night. They're not navigating. They're just going to see if they encounter something. Because again, they come out of the dungeon. They're not running. So they're going to go up, go to their camp, figure out what they're going to do. The party size is still going to be 4 to 9, I think is where it falls in, because they're going to take back all the horses, right? They're going to, if you remember, they used a cart when they came down here. They'll leave the cart, obviously. And obviously they left that wicker basket thing. They're just going to try to get home as fast as they can. So with light riding horses, they can move pretty quick. But first, let's see if they encounter anything the first night in the woods. On a 2, they do not. So when you're trying to decide if you're lost or not, you want a high number. When you're worried about encounters, you want a low number. That is to not have it. Okay, so that is the 10th of, I should say the night of the 10th, the night of the 9th of September. So now September 10th, we're heading home. Do they get lost? They're in the woods. On a 1 or a 2, they are lost. 4, they're not lost. Okay, so again, they're trying to get up. Let me I'll put this 12-sided die up there. All right, that 12-sided represents their home. So they're going to try to get up there as quickly as possible. And usually the best way to do that is to cross through as many paths as possible. I can't remember if they went this way when they came here or not, but this is the way they're going to go now. They're going to come out of the forest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Through the woods only counts as one move. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That ends them out in the clear. We're going to see if there's any encounter. In the clear, there's only an encounter on a 6. There is not. That day goes by. Okay, next day, they have to see if they can get their bearings in the morning. So I'm going to roll a d6. On a 1, they are lost. 6, they are not lost. So again, there's a path here through the mountains, which I think is going to be their best bet. Paths through the mountains, unfortunately, cost 2 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, they end up in the clear. Is there an encounter? There's an encounter on a 6. There is. Okay. We're going to have an encounter. So the first thing we do is we check off the day, because that day went by. We're going to look in the clear, and we're going to roll a d8 to see what kind of encounter it is. 7. Animals. They've had a lot of fun with animals in this trip. So they encountered animals. I'm going to roll on they're on the mountains. So I'm just going to roll the standard, I believe. Basic animals. You're just a basic animal, which is a D12 roll, of course. All right, let me get the D12. I will put a D6 over there for their home. All right, we swap the D12 for the D6 for the home. 3. 3 is lizards. We're going to decide if it's a whole bunch of small lizards or fewer large lizards. So we're going to roll. I'm going to use my Oracle, the Matt Jackson Oracle. I'm going to say, are these giant lizards? No. Okay. They're small lizards or normal sized lizards, which, in any large enough quantity can be problematic. So under small insects or animals, so this would be, I guess, an animal, 6 to 36 of them. So 6d6 basically. That's 7. That's 12. 7 more is 19. So 19 on 36 is about half. So we're going to fall into the 25 to 60% range. which gives us a 50% chance of avoiding them. Since these are small lizards and we are on horses, I'm going to 100% say we are twice as fast as them. That's going to give us a bonus 25%. So we have a 75% chance to just get away from these things and stay in our hex and not have to worry about it. So let's see, 75%. Is it a 1? Yes. No, it's a 7. Oh, God. Okay, so if this is 1 through 5, we're good. If it's higher than 5, then we're evade them. 4. Wow, 74 out of 75. Okay. We evade the lizards, so basically nothing happens. That's what we want on the way home. We really don't want to be dealing with stuff like that. All right, next day, we're in the clear. Do we get lost? 1, we're lost. Fantastic. We're going to roll. Up here in the corner, there's a chart to see what direction we go in randomly. 4. Oh, wow, okay. We go backwards into the forest. That costs us 2 of our 10. So we'll move one hex in the wrong direction. So 1, 2. Ultimately, we're trying to get to the top here. So I'm going to go 1, 2 backwards, right? I'm going to go, probably should have taken that path. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Unfortunately, it's going to end us in the forest. And we're going to have to roll. So the question is, do we have an encounter? Let me check the day off first. In the woods, there's an encounter, I believe, on a 5 or a 6. No encounter. Perfect. Next day, we could get lost on a 1 or a 2. We are not lost, so we're going to continue our moving northwards. I think I'm just going to go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, that worked perfectly. It's nice to be on horses. So again, we were able to move up. Let's check off the day. That's 4 days. And we're going to see if there's an encounter. There's only an encounter on a 6. There's not, which means that we're going to roll the next day to see if we get lost. We do not in the plains. And that's less than 10 hexes away, so we can get off the board. Took us 5 days to get home. Much less than on the way in, since on the way in we were going super slow because of that cart. So that we left on the 10th. So on the 15th, we are home. More or less disgraced, but home. We're going to have to look for some kind of local quest, I think. As I said, I don't think that it makes sense for the patron to just keep sending bodies to be slaughtered. This definitely feels like a higher level dungeon. And I think the party just needs a little bit more. I think if they were second level, they could take it. Oh, by the way, because I talked about this a little bit in the patron, but since not everybody that watches this is on the patron, obviously. When I start a new map like this, I'm not sure how clear that is. I basically have the cost of the map and basically how much the party owes. So they have paid back only 1,000. They still owe 2,168. This scroll will be worth probably a couple hundred in return. And of course, the patron's going to take it, which means that they're still a long way off from paying for this map. So the patron's not going to give them another map until they come back with a significant hoard. And really what they want to come back with is the treasure map. The big find here is there's a treasure map. And effectively, there's only 3 cockatrices left. And once we have killed all 8 cockatrices, who is the guardian of the massive treasure, they'll get the next 3 things. So if they can get in there and kill 3 more cockatrices, they theoretically will walk away with everything they need. But of course, now they know about these puddings and stuff. I just don't think it makes sense for them to go back there at first level. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at their experience points after this. And I think they're going to have to like buy some kind of a rumor, like the other party did, like I said, and go out and maybe hunt down some lesser prey, as it would be. That sounds terrible to say, but I also know that they did find on their own a hobgoblin lair. And I wonder if it makes sense for them to go to the hobgoblin lair and try to do a minor raid. Again, it's not super safe for only magic users, but I'll think about it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll see where we go. If you've been enjoying these actual play videos, please do consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. That helps a lot with the algorithm. Down in the description, you'll find links to many of the things I use to run these. So if you'd like to run your own solo game, you can find the links down there. You'll also find a link to my Discord server. You can join up over there. Have fun with the conversations. We talk about all kinds of cool stuff over there. And finally, there's a link down there to my Patreon if you'd like to support the channels. I'll talk to you soon.